Welcome to my YouTube channel. Once again, yes, Jabran Bravo, CEO Bravo Shoes, and I'm glad to be here once again to motivate you, to inspire you, and give you tips on how best we can be able to live a more happier and more fruitful life in whatever we do. Yes, like my YouTube channel, don't forget that, so that you can be able to follow me all the time that we give you something new. Thank you so much. Today we're speaking about taking responsibility in whatever we do. Taking responsibility in whatever we do. You know, we've lived a life of where people have failed to own up, to take responsibility of the decisions they have made in their lives, just because of fear, just because of being judged. Sometimes we run away from our decisions that we've made. Sometimes we feel that we own up to people, we own up to other people because of our decisions we've made. Sometimes you're forced to take decisions where you feel that it's not necessary or where you feel it's necessary. But at one point we run away from our decisions that we've made. Just because we don't have that capacity of building that potential of owning and taking responsibility in everything we do. I always tell people, no matter the challenges you go through, just know that these challenges leave us the same, don't leave us the same. Once you take a decision, own up that decision and let not somebody use that decision against you. At some point, we are forced to take decisions. At some point, people choose to divorce. At some point, people choose to move, to take a step, to leave their jobs. At some point, people take decisions to do things that you don't imagine. And at some point, they start regretting. Do not regret any decisions that you have taken in your life. However bad the decision was, this decision was taken by you. The decision was taken by you. Whether it was a stupid you, the decision was taken by you. So let us learn to take responsibility in whatever we do. We are who we are. We need to respect us, ourselves. Once you learn to respect who you are, you can never undermine the decisions that you have taken in your life. Taking responsibility in anything that you do, in everything that you do, shows maturity, shows that you have the capacity to make sure that somebody cannot use that same decision against you. But just because we are weak, that you took a decision, for example, I may give you a live example, you took a decision to leave your marriage. Somebody wants to use that against you. You can't own it up. If you took a decision, however bad the decision was, it is the decision that was made by you. If you had another decision, then you would have taken it. But because at that moment, that decision you took was the right decision, was the most appropriate decision. So don't undermine who you are. Respect you, respect your personality. It is through this that we shall have a capacity to build ourselves stronger. Because at one point we feel guilty that you took a decision. So meaning that you are not respecting the worthiness of you. You're not respecting your personality. Once we start doing that, we have the capacity to know, yes, I took a wrong decision some time ago. But I own it. It was my decision. And at that time, I did not have an option. If I had an option, I would have taken it. But at that moment, you didn't have the option. Sometimes we feel bad that we've not taken decisions given by our friends, by our colleagues, by our advisors. Yes, as I told you, we can never disappoint our conscience. You may ask people advice. But at the end of the day, we always know what we want. And once we take that decision, let's take responsibility. Let's own it. It's our decision. And let not somebody use that decision against you. Once we allow somebody to use that decision against you, then you're missing it out. This is why we're depressed. This is where we get stressed. Because somebody is telling you how you took a wrong decision. I myself have built that capacity. I've done my best to know that every decision I take in my life, I own it. once it doesn't go how I wanted it, yes, I still own it. And I will take another direction. Once I take another direction, that's my direction. Sometimes you take decisions, we are not sure whether the decisions will work out. So how many decisions are you going to take in your life, and all failed decisions, and you start grasping and you start failing? So once we build that capacity of owning and taking responsibility of who we are, we'll be able to live a more happy life. Sometimes somebody comes and approaches you because you took a wrong decision. Probably you moved out of your marriage. Probably you went out with somebody maybe who was not a choice of another person. And that probably relationship goes wrong and somebody uses it against you. And somebody says, yes, I told you this would work out. They were not sure that even things would work out by the advice they gave you. Sometimes my responsibility is to advise you, but the person who is responsible in taking the decision of the advice I've given is that person that I'm talking to. So you still have the capacity to take your decisions. And then when you have that capacity to take your decisions, then own them. Take responsibility of your decisions. Sometimes because humans, we look at all the time going by the direction of the wind. But once you live to own your decision, if you went in something wrong and it bounced, own it, be happy, pay gratitude. Because you learned something. I am in business. We've gone through different businesses. Probably failed. I don't cry over it. I own it. I take responsibility over that. Because life is a trial. We try this, we try that, we do this, we do the other. At the end of the day, we own and take responsibility of our decisions that we've made. Once you take a decision to go up, to go another step, own it. Don't look back. Because if you look back, then you're regretting. Move forward. If you feel, yes, this was a wrong one, accept it. Some of us, we take decisions. Yes, sometimes we're not sure whether decisions will work out for us, but it's our decision. So to me, I insulate myself of making sure that at that time, I am not allowing the external, I'm not allowing anybody to use that against me because I own it. It's my responsibility I took up. I took my decision to do this. Yes, if it failed, yes, it's still mine. Once we have that respect of who we are, ourselves, then we will find that life becomes more easier for us in the decisions we make in our lives, in the decisions we make in our relationships, in the decisions we make in whatever we do. But once you're a person who wants to follow other people's decisions all the time, then you're weak. Because you will never own up any decision that you've made for yourself. And that is very dangerous. That is very dangerous. We need to understand it. We need to know that once you take a decision, the decision is yours. Own it. Take responsibility. If the decision has failed, yes, still the decision is yours. You can never run away from yourself. We can never disappoint our conscience. We can never forget who we are. But once you start failing to take responsibility of the decisions you've made in your life, then you're bound to fail. You're bound to have challenges. You're bound to all the time be stressed and depressed. But even if you own a decision that was wrong, you're happy. You're like, yes, it was my decision. I took it. It was wrong. And now I should be happy that this decision that I took was not the best one. I'm now having a second decision. I can go. It is simple. We have to move forward. You have to keep moving forward. But all the time, if you're looking at regressing, then you're bound to fail. In life, you are either progressing or retrogressing. There's no neutral. There's no middle ground. You're either progressing or retrogressing. So let's do our best. Let's build our capacity. Let's own up our decisions. Let's own up whatever we do. In that line, once we know that we have the normal senses and we are mature, let's own up our decisions. And as you own more decisions, even if they are wrong, you're able to get good decisions in your life and you're able to live a more fruitful and happy life. So take responsibility for your life. Do your best to make sure that whatever decisions you make, you take responsibility no matter how bad or good the decisions are. Thank you so much and have the best. Thank you.